Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be covering a couple things. I didn't want to have to film separate videos just because my recap for January is going to be very quick, but I am going to be going over my January recap from mid-month of January because I did do a budget do-over. If you guys have seen my last budget video, I did completely redo our budget because my husband didn't make as much as we thought he would be for his paycheck, so I decided to just redo it. And then I'm also going to be showing you guys my February month budget setup and kind of talking to you guys as well about adding back to our debt snowball, which sucks, which has been one of the reasons why I kind of was iffy on filming this video this month, just because I've been really feeling crappy about putting something back into our debt snowball. But I will go over that again later on once we get into February. And I also wanted to talk about a little bit about cash envelopes as well. But to recap January, or from January 16th is when I redid our budget. We went ahead and did the cash, or husband and I tried the cash envelope system for a few of the categories, for groceries, my husband's allowance, Disneyland, and for takeout. Everything else stayed inside of our debit card, which is for gas and laundry. And if you guys saw that budget setup or redo, I just used plain white envelopes, whatever I had on hand, and I was tracking our expenses on here, which I didn't do that great of a job with, but I think I got it down this time around, and I will show you guys how I use the Fudget app as well to track all of our expenses. So as far as the cash envelope system goes, I am going to be moving forward with it because I feel like we did have a successful month or mid-month, I guess, using it. So just really quickly, this is how our overall budget ended up being. So for gas, we were under by $29. Laundry evened out, or not under, over. My husband's allowance, same thing, we used all of it. For groceries, we were actually under by $6, so we had $6 left over. Disneyland money, we actually ended up spending more, but only because our son got money, or was gifted money, so we ended up using it to have a little bit more spending money at Disneyland, because we don't really normally spend a ton when we're at Disneyland, so I thought, why not? And then for takeout, we did have $5 left over. And then I also, for one of my husband's paycheck on the 25th, he ended up having $112 extra, which I decided to just create a miscellaneous budget category, which ended up coming in handy. But as you can see, we were still over, and that just covered the cost of things that we needed at home, things I needed for my son per doctor's order, and then we also used it for our anniversary dinner as well. So that's, where that kind of came in handy. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that recap. Moving on to February setup. Oh, and this is where we did keep track of our credit score. I'm so happy that this is climbing up, because before our debt-free journey, which was, we started June of last year, it was probably at the lower end of 600, or maybe the high 500s, so we're really proud of that. Anyways, so back to our February month setup. I don't know, I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to mention this online. I've been beating myself up about it, but we did end up makes me cringe just talking about it, but we ended up putting close to $1,900 on a credit card, you guys, and I think I've been stressing on it so much more than I should be, but it is medical. Unfortunately, all medical related. Husband and I were still working on replenishing our emergency fund from what we had used up in December, and I don't know if you guys have seen my videos in December, but I did also mention that we were spending money on medical bills as well, and my husband did take some time off to help take care of me, and unfortunately he didn't have they were paid days off, so we had to tap into our emergency fund to cover that. So which left us with the beginning of the new year trying to with the goal of saving up more in our emergency fund, which is why our learning from this experience as well is we can't just go off of the $1,000 baby step number one. If you guys follow Dave Ramsey, we just figured our goal for this year is to save $5,000 in our emergency fund. So before moving forward and doing heavier payments on our debt, we want to make sure we have $5,000 just in case, because I had no idea with some of the medical bills, all the deductibles and things like that, things have to be met, and I didn't realize our copay would be that high. And it was a procedure that needed to get done, and trust me, I kind of was like, maybe we should wait, but my husband, when it comes to health stuff, you can't really wait on those kind of things. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. We're adding back to our debt snowball, I know, which sucks, but had we had maybe at least $2-3 saved up, we wouldn't have to do that. So luckily it was a card that was paid off back in August, and they actually had increased our credit limit, which I guess helped us pay this medical emergency bill. So I'm trying my best to look at the positive things. So I wrote myself a little note here. So on the positive side, we did have, we saved the card for an emergency, learned to save more than $1,000, and a couple more good things coming up this year in March and June. We will be freeing up, basically by the end of June, we'll have an extra $1,030 because our car will be paid off, one of our loans will be paid off, and Disneyland will be paid off. And that's because of the minimum payments that's required. So that's, it was like a contract. But yeah, so that's pretty much where we're at. And if you guys are on this debt-free journey, just keep in mind that everyone's debt-free journey is going to be different. I feel like there's no one size fits all. You kind of have to do what you need to do and what works for your family. So for us, I feel like we need to have a bigger emergency fund, because had we had maybe other things come up as well, so not only medical, but what if something happened to our car at the same time, I feel like we need to have just a bigger savings fund just to cover that. So lesson learned, we're saving up for a bigger fund. Anyways, so same setup as my usual months. If you guys have been watching me, red is for all of our debt, blue is for everything else. And then upcoming this month, my husband did make a little bit, or $400 extra, $450 more than expected on the February 8th payday, but that is going to be going towards, we're going to be getting our taxes done, got a parking ticket, which sucks, and we also have a car registration renewal at the end of the month. So that's pretty much what it's going to be going towards. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the monthly. And then this is how I have it set up. Same thing, our expected paycheck amounts, what we got paid, or what my husband got paid. And this budget is going to be going from the February, so this budget's going to be going from the February 8th paycheck up until March 7th. Payday again is going to be March 8th. So that's how I decided to set this one up versus just doing a whole month, just so I know because the next payday is going to be on February 22nd. I need to know where that money is going to be going, and I need to know that we're covered up until the next payday, which is March 8th. So that's pretty much what I have. And I also have a breakdown. I always do this every month, a breakdown of where our paychecks, or what we have in our account. We did have $40 left over, and then the bills from February 8th paycheck to the 21st, and then how much money we have available. And I decided to just go ahead and take out the money that I need for our cash envelopes, since we have it in our account, and the rest will just stay in the account. So our budget categories for this month is pretty much still the same. I did add a miscellaneous one in there, so it's one for laundry, gas, miscellaneous, Sam's Club, groceries, my husband's allowance, my allowance, takeout, and fun. I did go ahead and set up an expense tracking, but I don't know how much I will be using this, because let me show you guys how I'm using my Fudget app. Let's see if I can zoom you in a little bit so you can see. And if you guys can see here, I have February 2019, which is I have our paychecks. Everything is in order, so the dates in order for when my bills get taken out. So February 8th is when we got paid. We had $40 left over from January, and then all of our bills in order, and payday again on the 22nd. And then I am left here with $940, which I know that's how much we can budget for our variable expenses. So I have on here February expenses. This is the budget category, which pretty much matches here. That's just what I use to help calculate things, because the Fudget app will calculate it for you. And then I also use this as a grocery list. I use it for my Sam's Club list, just so, because I can leave the payment, or we pretty much buy the same things over and over, and unless something is on sale, the prices will change. But this kind of helps out in calculating. So I would give ourselves the $150 allowance, and then go ahead and make my list, and then when we're at the store, we just cross it off. So, and we ended up being under, not $2.34, we were actually under by $5, so go us. And then I do have one set up for my February cash envelopes, which I did take out $540 for, and I also added that we were the $5 extra left over from our takeout budget last month, and $6 left over for groceries. And I'm just gonna be, as we take out cash, I'm just gonna enter it in here, so that way we kind of have a running total of how much cash we have. I mean, I can always go back and count it, which I probably will, just, you know, to make sure. But I want to know where we're spending our cash, because I'm not really good at keeping receipts. Yes, we are keeping the receipts inside the envelopes, but just in case, I just want to know where our cash is going. Since it's not on our debit card, we can't go back and check. So, and then I also have a February debit budget, like, running list. So at the end of it, we should have, with bills and, you know, taking out the cash, we should have a total of $360 left over in our account for everything else that I didn't take cash out for, which is laundry, gas, and miscellaneous. So I have a running total on here as well. And this is just to help me, because I feel like in my previous budgets, I don't do that great writing down every single week, like a recap. So what I'm gonna do is do a recap every payday on here. So instead of every week, I'm gonna do a recap bi-weekly, I guess, so that I'm not spending too much time in here, and I kind of tracking here instead, or just try not to complicate things, I guess. So that's how I have my Fudget app working for me. And our cash envelopes, I did go ahead and buy these clear zipper pouches on Amazon. I think I ended up getting, I think it's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I have 3 more over there. I do have 10, and I think it was like $8 or something like that. It was very inexpensive, and I believe I saw it on at Staples for like $1 each. So I just went ahead and went with the Amazon one. And so the categories I have on here, I know it doesn't look the prettiest, but you know, it's working for us. So I have seen a lot of cool cash envelope systems out there, but maybe I'll try out later on. So we have groceries here, and I keep the receipt back here as well. Takeout, which we are keeping some of our favorite like fast food places coupons in here, so we remember to use them because we tend to forget about them. My husband's allowance, my allowance, some fun money, and then debit card receipts, and then January receipts I'm keeping in here because I want to go through them really quick, I guess. So yeah, that is how I have my cash envelope system set up. And I do have this placed in our living room where it's like easy access, but you can't really see that it's there. So that way we remember to just grab what we need when we go out and do groceries, or if we're gonna get food or take out food or anything like that. So yeah, that is pretty much it for my setup. I hope you guys found this video somewhat helpful. Hopefully I don't get a ton of hate or negative comments about putting something back onto my credit card, because trust me, I already feel like crap having to do that and trying to get better health wise and stuff. I can't add any more of that stress to myself. And my husband has been reassuring me, it was a necessary thing. We had to do it. It's not like I spent money going shopping or anything. So that kind of helped me feel a little bit better. Plus, all this extra money that we're going to be having soon, because March is our last car payment and Disneyland payment, and I'm so excited about it, and I can't wait to just get the ball rolling and getting our emergency fund set up. Also, a good news too is, since I had paid that much for our medical bills, anything that needs to get done the rest of the year, if doctors find anything else, and I need to have surgery or whatever again, then it would be covered, which is nice. But I'm really hoping no more surgeries for the rest of the year. So yes, so trying to end this note on a positive for you guys, because if you guys are in a similar boat as me, just try to stick to the positive things. If you had to, if you guys had a financial regret, just leave it in the past, learn from it, move forward. That's all I gotta say. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.